What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back with another transfer update. Get used to these. It's going to be a busy week. We got 3 full days left of the window, and transfers, they change minute to minute, hour to hour, as everyone can see, read, and hear. But yeah, this one I had to go live for. I was going to drop a video for it, but I needed to share my joy because I'm delighted with this one. Stevie, what is it? Stevie here saying title will be won by Christmas, and Lee saying Spence is a game changer of a signing, and I completely agree. And I'm willing to put my whole thing on the line about this. You know, you put your neck above the parapet with certain signings, and this is one that I will do. So I will do it for. But before we get into it, of course, hit the likes on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, drop your comments below. Thank you to John Abbott for the super thanks on the last video, much appreciated. And yeah, memberships are in the description if you want to help the channel out that way too. But yeah, listen, people, just hit the notification bell because you just never know when you're going to go live, upload a video. It's going to be a very hectic few days. It should be a very hectic few days for Leeds United. Russ saying, cracking signing, keep them coming. Christmas is coming early. Yeah, this is sensational. This is a sensational signing at this level. Chris Summer Scales, KG, yes, KG, make my day. It's made my day. I'm not gonna lie. It spells the end of one era and ushers in a new one. There's only one disappointing thing about the deal, though. Only one disappointing thing. And I'm just going to speak about the Amiri thing at the end, just give my insight on that, just my point of view. And then I think that chapter is closed on Amiri. But let's talk about the good news. Darren here, wow, is it true? Yeah, it looks like it's true. And Damar here, KG, I know you gas. You was just talking about Spence. Yeah, I was just talking about it yesterday. And Alan's buzzing too. Yeah. Cozy, nice shirt, KG, mate. Love it. Yeah, 100% love Avenged Sevenfold. And Jamie here, we are acting like a big club. Who would have thought? Yeah, I said it just briefly at the start of yesterday's video in that, why couldn't we just do this in the Prem? And I used to say this about certain teams when they got relegated, where they wouldn't spend money correctly in the Prem, but then when they got relegated, all of a sudden they make the moves they should have made in the Prem. Now we're doing the same thing. It's crazy, isn't it? John H. Ailing to left back, probably in the changing room, mate. I don't know, because we're still in for the left back. There's just no update as I speak to you today. Render, is it a done deal? It's not a done deal yet, Render, but don't let that dampen your spirit, because let's get into it, people. Ryan Taylor broke it first today. Obviously, yesterday it was in the stage of the clubs talking. It wasn't advanced talks. It was just the clubs trying to negotiate a deal. But Ryan Taylor, who's a pretty good source, leads him advancing in talks to sign Jed Spence on loan from Tottenham, prepared to cover players' wages, and still possible deal could yet include option to buy or obligation. And the paint seal deal, listen, that's still where it is, people. So I'm not going to talk about that too much. But then Phil Hay then confirms it himself with the Athletic, just saying Leeds United closing in on the sign of right back Jed Spence from Tottenham. Not finalised yet, but it's a straight season-long loan deal with no option obligation to buy. Loan fee is in the region of 1 million, and that is the only dampener for me, people. It's the no optional obligation. I wish we could get that done. Now there's a whole host of reasons why that possibly hasn't been done. Maybe the asking price is too high for Leeds at this point. Maybe Tottenham want to send him out to Leeds United on a season-long loan to get his value up and then sell him to the highest bidder next summer. Who knows? Because listen, people hate when you say this, but when you do well at Leeds United, clubs notice you, clubs watch you. So it's much better for him to go on a season-long loan here than at Reading or Swansea. With no disrespect to those guys, but when you do well for Leeds United, clubs will notice you. That's just a fact. It's historically, it's a fact. Everyone's seen it. So you can imagine Tottenham probably looking at it that way. But I really wish we had gotten an option to buy on that one, or more obligation upon promotion. That would have been good. But the fact that we're getting him in here is excellent news. It's excellent news, people. This is an upgrade. This is another one along the lines of Ethan Ampadu, where he should still be in the Prem. And you can see with some of the midfielders that are playing in the Premier League right now, Ethan Ampadu should still be there. But this is the same with Jed Spence. Absolutely should still be in the Premier League. Maybe not at Tottenham, maybe down at like Crystal Palace, Mandem FC, but he should still be there. But the fact that he's coming, I'm all for it. And the good thing as well about Jed Spence is that he believes in his ability. He knows he's good, and he's got it up here. And it goes along the lines of the signings we're making, where they have to have it up here. And he goes with that Daniel Farke thinking too. Tintin, no, I'm not getting excited until I see an elite shirt. I understand that. I 100% understand that, but uh, I can't help but get gas for this one. I like how all the deals, by the way, are saying that this deal will be completed in the next couple of days. Well, duh, it better be. Otherwise, we're not getting him, are we? So, yeah. uh, Harry Mandevesi, you know what I'm talking about, Harry. Um, Caspadinho, would you have taken him if we were still in the Prem? I 100% would Caspadinho, and the proof, which is the brilliant thing about doing videos, is in the pudding. Because I put it in last year's video when he was promoted with Forest, and there was the chance that he wasn't going back to Forest. I said we should be all over Jed Spence. He's ready for that next step. He's ready for Premier League football. I didn't realize that Tottenham were looking at him, but I said that he's ready now for like a bottom half Premier League team before going on to the next stage, because he's got the ability to get to the top. It's just that Tottenham came in for him. He goes to Spurs, hasn't worked out there. He was on loan. By the way, he was on loan with Joe Rodon as well, who also come from Tottenham, on loan at Rennes last season. So he's joining up with Joe Rodon again. So they've already know each other on that right hand side of defense. But yes, I was all for him last season, Caspadinho, 100%, and it's in the last summer transfer video. Kevin, Superman on ice in my fridge. Listen, I said I wouldn't break it out, but I don't know. I might be tempted once it's actually official. We'll see. We'll see. Um, let's have a look. Domar saying Rodon has definitely been in his ear, Agent Rodon. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? They're both at Spurs, hasn't worked out for them. They go on loan to the same club in League One, and now they're both on loan at the same club in the Championship. It's funny how that works. Maybe it's coinkydink. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, absolutely huge. But like everyone else, it's not completely done. And just to confirm as well, Fabrizio, somebody said earlier, he said here we go soon. Yeah, it's not quite here we go yet, but he's put like the amber light on it, so it's not a red light, it's that amber light ready to go. And then once it's done, once Fabrizio or whoever his contacts are get the green light that the medical and everything's done, it will be a formality. So this is great. This is great in terms of, oh God, why? You know what? I'm gonna have to address it. For God's sake, um, this is brilliant in terms of the caliber of the player, and it's a huge upgrade where we need it. This question here, Dan Savage, is Spence's attitude good? I don't see why he's not in Spurs plans. He ripped the championship up with Forest. Well, his attitude is, there's nothing wrong with his attitude. If you look behind everything before you go to a player's attitude, before you question anything, he wasn't a Tottenham sign. He wasn't a Conte signing. He was a club signing, which Conte come out and said so. He said that he didn't actually put out Jed Spence. He didn't seek out Jed Spence. It was a club initiative. So that's one reason. You're already behind the eight ball there. Tottenham then they persist with Emerson Royale and Matt Doherty. Then they move on to Pedro Porro and they spend like 45 million on Pedro Porro. So he's just not in their plans. It's as simple as that. There's no other thing to it. Does he believe in his own ability? Yes. Is that a dirty thing to do? Believe in yourself. If that consists as an attitude problem, then yeah, his attitude stinks. That he believes in his own ability. But you know what? The problem that we've had over the past couple of years is that we've had too many players that don't believe in themselves and are weak up here. So I'm delighted with that kind of attitude. Yeah, exactly, Damar. Attitude people need to stop. He just believes in his ability, something we've lacked in so many players we've signed. Get it right, people. Yeah, it's lazy, Damar. It's lazy. And it's something I'll never back down from it on this channel. This is my platform. And as soon as people mention that attitude thing, it's always to certain players. And we know who we're talking about. It's always to certain kind of players. There's nothing wrong with his attitude. His attitude is fine. He believes in himself. And you know what? He's taken a step down now to come to Leeds United and hopefully get us promoted. And it's as simple as that. It's simple as that, people. Um, Colin, shout out to you, Colin. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Much appreciated for the support, Colin. Big up to you. Big up, big up. Caspadinho saying, I do remember questioning his attitude myself, but after reading it a bit more into it, I admit I was very wrong. We live and learn. Yeah, just don't make it your first option. When it comes to a young black player, and let's be real, that's what it is. Don't always go to the attitude thing first. It's lazy. It's lazy on your part. Really and truly, you need to look into things a bit more. It's just like Cody Drama when he dared to go on loan when he just wanted first team football after not getting it when Luke Ayling was out injured and Jamie Shackleton was put in at right back. It's just lazy analysts, and I just won't let it fly on this channel. It's not happening. Um, Jamie saying, "What do we think of the 1 million loan fee without any option to buy?" Listen, loan fees are what it is. Listen, Jamie, we've received loan fees for Robin Koch and everything else like that. Not sure it total to 1 million, I must say, but it is what it is. You do have to pay loan fees to certain clubs when you want players, especially when they're in a bit of demand. So it is disappointing that there's no option to buy. I will say that, but this is a brilliant addition. No way. Um, Yes, the hand us the title right now. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let me just see what else is there. What else is there? Okay, right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the other one. And it's funny how things just intertwine. Attitude again. Um, yeah, I mean, Ice Bailey here saying, remember Ben White, we kicked ourselves for not having an option on him. Yeah. I think that whole thing though with Brighton is that he was literally on loan to play for them. I don't think he was ever in the cards that they wanted to sell him. They just wanted him to develop at championship level. And we kind of just thought that we could get him back in. And remember how funny we thought it was where Brighton thought Leeds were rivals, how funny we thought that was. Well, who's laughing now, eh? Who's laughing now? It's certainly not us. It's certainly not us. Um, Matt here saying, couldn't care less if any player's attitude stinks. Just do your job on the pitch. That's all I care about. Yeah, we've been nice guy, family guy FC for far too long at this football club. Oh yeah, he's a crap football player, but he's so good off the pitch. Like, who cares? Honestly, who cares if he's good off the pitch or not? I don't care one bit. Doesn't do anything for me. I need you to do your job on the pitch. As Roy Keane would say, do your job. It's his job. You know, I can't. I'm tired of the dead ballers that we've had at this football club. It's time to get some. You need to have belief in your own ability to succeed at the top level. When you think Lionel Messi is humble, you think Lionel Messi don't believe he's the best in the world. It's just yeah, it's just weak thinking, man. Weak thinking. Ben, let's move on to Amiri. And Ben here saying he took one look at Leeds City and thought dust hole. And you know what? And this is another thing in regards to Amiri. And now I want this thing to be moved on now because I think with him being in Leeds and everything else like that, he's given the city a look. He's looked around the club. He's obviously spoken to the club. And as this report here said, he's made it clear that he doesn't want to join face to face. Now, again, I've seen people talk about his attitude and oh, he's not up for it or whatever it is. Guys, he's a 26-year-old player that if Marseille had agreed a fee with Leverkusen, he'd be at Marseille now playing European football. You know, he doesn't want to be in the championship. Who does? And he's got a partner who's about to have a baby. If he was to come, if he was to sign, and then he's unhappy in 2 months' time without him coming to Leeds and looking around, then we'd be in a situation where we've got an unhappy player who does not want to be here. He doesn't want to be in the league anyway, and then he doesn't want to play football here anymore. That's a nightmare scenario. It's actually the right scenario that has happened in this transfer, in that he's come over. He hasn't wasted anyone's time, by the way. Um, he hasn't wasted anyone's time because he's actually made the effort to come over and have a look and feel it out for himself. And he's probably found that it's not for him, and that's cool. But when I'm seeing people talk about I don't want a bad egg around here, it's just so far wide of the mark, people. He just doesn't want to play. Now, for a Leeds United fan, I guess some of you is just like, oh yeah, if he doesn't want to play for Leeds United, he must hate football or something like that. He doesn't want to do the championship grind. I think that's been made pretty clear. And he would like it to be a 1 year loan, much like me. But it doesn't seem that he's up for it. And I'm glad that we found this out beforehand rather than sign him and then find out 2 months later. This is the best scenario, really and truly. And you just think under the old regime where we've signed players like this who aren't happy to be here, we would have probably given into him and say, listen, if we're not in the top two by Christmas, we'll give you a loan fee release clause and you can go in January. Imagine that. It sounds ridiculous, but we've already seen it many times so far in this summer alone. So it wouldn't be beyond the realm of possibility of that even happening with the old regime. The fact is, the new regime have done made every effort to see if he's willing to come, put personal terms ahead that he agreed to, but it probably isn't going to work out. But now I want Leeds United to move on because I do want people that are fully committed to it. I always agree with that point. Now move on to somebody else who is willing to come and who is going to be fully committed to the cause. Um, Render saying, long way to come for a cheeky Nando's here. Oh, man. Let's have a look. Caspadino saying nobody wants a championship grind. It's a stinking league, let's be honest. Exactly. And that's another thing that people just don't consider. They don't consider that he's moving to another country, to a lesser league than the Premier League. Does he want to, look out Stoke away on the map? No, he doesn't. He would have preferred to go by, say, we were another option, and that's another thing people can't take us just being an option and not a priority for people. But that's where we are. We're a championship club, and we have to accept where we are right now. But look, John H saying no problem with him doing his due diligence. I just wish he had said this at the start rather than constantly changing his mind. I hear the frustration on the fans' part on that bit because it has been a frustrating saga, and I hope it is over now, really and truly, because even I'm sick of it. But I'm glad he did that. I'm so glad that he made the trip over rather than taking the chance, us putting a ridiculous clause in his contract and him leaving for January for nothing after an unsuccessful period. This is the best outcome, people. Really and truly, this is the best outcome. And it's a better way of doing business. But I guess these kind of things won't be seen until over the long term. Right now, everything is 3 days till the transfer window. We need things now, now, now. In the future, it's going to be like, oh man, remember when we were going to sign that player? He wasn't really sure. We would have probably signed him under the old regime, but I'm glad we didn't. And that's simply what it is. Let's have a look. Yeah, fair play to him and fair play to us. Let's just hope now we move on to somebody else. I saw that link for the Norwich player, man. Who's what's he called, man? Someone in the chat, let me know the name, please. And while I get that, Paul Jones, great to view your channel, KG. No messing about, no swearing, just quality content. Keep spreading the news, brother. Thank you for that, Paul. Who is the Norwich player? There it is. Yeah, thank you for that. Kenny McLean. Now, I don't know. I don't know how true this one is, so I'm not going to speak about it too much. But this one would come under the. Yeah. This one will come under the. All right, man. I saw the stat for him yesterday, and it was something about covered the most kilometers, and I was just kilometers hype. Lord have mercy. That's what Bobby. That's what I'm saying, man. 4 million on a 31-year-old. That's what I'm saying, man. Covers the ground. So we got an older Shackleton coming in. Like, if Farker trusts him, okay, cool. But for me, it don't move me like that. It don't move me like that. But yeah. Slice bread Ed here. James McAtee still on City's books. I love McAtee here. I think he's a part of City's plans, though, isn't he? So I don't think that's even going to be possible. But yeah, I don't know. We'll keep a lookout for that Kenny McLean one, man. But hey man. But yeah, Steve here though saying when we go up, we'll forget all about Amiri with the talent we'll be chasing. McLean would be a decent squad option, solid player, and Farker knows him. Yeah, solid hype. But you know what it is though with that Steve and everything else. Some of the players that we've signed so far, Ampadu and Perot, I see them playing in the Premier League. Kenny McLean would be on the first thing smoking up to Scotland for me. When we get promoted, he's not a Premier League player by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, we'll see though. We'll see, won't we? And yeah, that's why I'm not really talking about it, Bubs. It was just via Sky, so nothing really to report. Now, just quickly on Rival Watch, because we've got to keep a tab of our rivals. Leicester have lost another fullback in Timothy Constania. He has gone to Fulham. So again, Leicester losing another player. Does that mean anything for Luke Thomas? Does that mean they want to keep him? Does that mean that deal's off? We'll see in the next couple of days, I believe. But yeah, Timothy Castagna going, and also Ian Nacho being linked with a move to Wolves as well. So there's a lot of moving parts now. All we have to hope is that our moving parts. Just stay quiet, please. Rutter, Cine, Nanto, just shh, over there, please. Because it seems like the other clubs and Bella Kotchap for Southampton has been looked at by Bayern as well as what's his name? Oh my, there's Trevor Chalobah from Chelsea. So Bayern are looking at one of those two defenders. So there's going to be some moving parts before this window closes. Just hopefully not too much on us. Um, yeah, I said that one yesterday, but Teller is he's at Leverkusen, I think, not Genk. He's gone to Germany. Castagna is he's a right and left back, Michael. He plays both. When he plays left back, he's what you call an inverted fullback. When he plays left, he plays both left and right, Michael. But yeah, Matt, yeah, please, Leeds got to move like Shinobi. Yeah, we got to move in silence, man. Move in silence. Bobby with a super chat, and then we'll finish this one up because, like I say, news changes all the time, and these videos can age like milk. So yeah, Bobby, thank you for the super chat, man. I just hope we target a similar profile, need a 10. Yeah, look, if Somerville is being seen as a 10, and that's one of the options, cool. But we do need another one, and I don't want Jed Spence as well to negate the fact that we need a left back too. We need another central midfielder. We need to complete the to complete all the profiles in the squad to make this team one of the best in the league, one of the best the league's probably ever seen with that front four. We just need to get more pegs in the holes because otherwise, listen, we can't keep on scoring 4 goals every game. It's not going to happen. We got a good chance of doing so. We definitely do, but it's not going to happen every game. We need to shore up the squad in other places, and Jed Spence will certainly do that. But listen, people, I'm going to end it there. Let me just go back on this one to end it. There we go. I'm going to end it there, people. Please hit a like before you go. Leave your comments below. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video because I can imagine I'll be back at some point today. Maybe. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I will be. Yeah. Salford Cup game. So I'll be back today regardless. So yeah, keep your notification bell on, people. Peace out.